If you'd have told me a few weeks ago that I'd be not only playing Forspoken, but playing it to such an extent that it actually gave me the inspiration I needed to start an entirely new series of video on this channel, and that I'd fall completely in love with the open world genre all over again, I'd have told you to get out of my house. The thing about playing Forspoken is that it actually just ended up reminding me of so many other open world games that I've played in the past that are so much better. A game that came out in 2023 with the power of Unreal 5 behind it, and the Luminous engine, and Final Fantasy 15's director, and all this stuff from Square Enix. It seemed like it was going to be so good. Like, despite, the writing and everything that everybody was memeing on, at least the open world is going to be great, right? Let's talk about it. Welcome to said inspired new series called Wide Open Worlds, where I'll be talking about, you guessed it, open worlds in video games. I'm not going to cover the entire game. The focus of this series is going to be the open world of these games. So in this video, I'm not going to go into great depth about the god-awful dialogue in Forspoken, or the terrible writing, or the weird janky facial animations, or the fact that you need a computer from NASA to run the thing at decent settings. Won't be talking about that. We are talking specifically about Athia, the open world in Forspoken. I guess it's fitting on this channel, where I normally talk about negative things, that the inaugural episode of a new series would be about a game that I affectionately would describe as Athia really emphasizes the open part of open worlds by being wide open and having a sum total of jack and squat in it. I don't want to start off criticizing already, but man, every time I see a review about all the fun things there are to do in the open world in this game, I have to ask, did we play the same game? For the uninitiated, let me just drop this little bit here. Forspoken is about a girl from New York City who gets sucked into the world of Athia, magical, generic fantasy land with evil corruption and rulers who used to be good but are turned to the dark side, and there's 4 elements, and it's very standard fantasy. If I could rename the game, I would rename it Standard Fantasy Game, because that's what it is. Now, any open world game worth its salt has some kind of transportation that is fun, that lets you get around at a decent speed and makes you not want to even use fast travel, like Spider-Man, for example. Both the Insomniac games and Spider-Man 2, the web swinging is just so good in those games that you don't really want to fast travel, because I'm gonna get there in a couple minutes anyway, and it's way more fun if I do this, and maybe I'll get to punch a couple people along the way. Forspoken's main method of transportation is your feet. Now, that sounds boring, but there's a little bit of a twist. So you've got this magical sprinting power that allows you to parkour over most objects and some somewhat tall walls or canyons or craggy walls. Usually there's something for you to gain a foothold on and flip your way up a little cliff, though some are quite a bit larger and require something else to get to the top of. Whether it's a grappling hook that you unlock at some point. Well, it's not really a hook, it's more like a flame whip thing, but I always just called it the grappling hook out of habit. You can unlock 2 different methods that increase the speed of the sprinting. One is a little bunny hop thing, where if you time your jumps correctly, you do little forward jumps that kind of springboard you forward. It's a little bit faster than just sprinting. You also get a speed boost you can unlock that is, again, a timed button press. Every time you glow red, you hit the sprint button again, and you do a little boost forward. It's not really fast, and neither is the jumping. Neither one is really worth having to constantly time 40 button presses in a row just to run across a wide open field that has nothing in it. Yes, of course, there's fast traveling in this game. However, you have to unlock the fast travel points, which means you have to run a lot before you can fast travel a lot. The world of Athia seems to be very stoked on not letting you go as fast as possible. There's always some kind of little rock in the way, some little drop off, something that stops your momentum. This game has zero momentum. If you run and jump off a cliff, right, you should go like this, right? No, in Forspoken you go like this, and then you just go straight down. You lose all your momentum after a couple seconds. It's completely arbitrary, doesn't need to be there, and worst of all, fall damage. In your open world game, fall damage. Now, you can save yourself from hitting the ground by either attacking right before you hit your ground, which resets your momentum, or using the float ability, which lets you float very slowly. You unlock it way later in the game. If you even want to, you don't have to unlock it, it's a secret. But it lets you float slowly through the air, so if you're about to hit the ground, you can do that. But again, you'll lose any momentum you had. This game does not want you to go fast. That's what they sell it as, magic parkour, flying and zipping all over the place, but really, this game does not let you go fast. And it's infuriating. Even when you unlock the magic water surfboard, which for all intents and purposes looks like it should go really fast, it's no faster than just running. And it's a huge disappointment. It's so sad to see it. But it is what it is. Again, it's one of those things. All this new hardcore tech going into this game, they could pull off some seriously crazy stuff, and yet Infamous 2, which was another PlayStation-centric open world action-adventure game, which came out nearly a decade ago, 10 years, on the previous console generation, which should be significantly weaker than the current one, that game has better momentum and movement and a similar structure to this game. They could have just made Infamous 3. Why didn't that just happen? You know, I know Infamous Second Son could be considered Infamous 3, but it's not called Infamous 3, so let's not mix apples and green apples. That game lets you travel as a sentient cloud of smoke. You can shoot yourself through vents. You unlock neon parkour that lets you run up any surface you want as long as it's not like a 90-degree angle. You can turn into a boulder and just launch yourself right down the street. It's awesome. You unlock magic digital wings that you can fly around with, and you can hover in the air like you're Emperor Palpatine striking people down with your cool powers. That game was awesome. The movement was awesome. Forspoken's not. I don't know if they were trying to go for weighty realism in the movement or something like that. They're trying to, oh, okay, well, you know, if you really were parkouring over things, you wouldn't just phase through it like some neon vampire. I get that. The problem is this world is so littered with little pebbles that Frey seems to think she needs to like double gainer over that it gets really annoying when you're just trying to move a short distance and she won't stop flipping around and just run up the rock. Ezio could climb up these cliff faces faster because he doesn't waste all his time flipping and dancing around on the side of a cliff. Not to mention the game obviously introduces many different magical abilities you have, and at the end of the game you can basically teleport and fly because you go Super Saiyan for the final boss, and then you lose all the cool powers you get in the final boss. You don't have those for the rest of the game. Those are only for the boss. I immediately got back into the open world and I tried to do the teleport thing that you unlock at the end of the game. Can't do it anymore. Just for the final boss. Why? I don't know, I guess it would be too fun. But all these magical abilities and stuff, and you're telling me I can't, like, I don't know, glide or something? Like I have a magic wingsuit or something? Like, anything, something, please, something more creative than, oh, I can run fast. And it's not even that fast. The objectives in the open world for this game are, I mean, I don't know what I was expecting considering the rest of the game, but it's all really boring. It's like, really small HP bonus, really small strength bonus, really small defense bonus. These are the rewards you get for clearing things in the open world. Of course, if you do all 200 or whatever objectives, yeah, I'm sure you turn into a real powerhouse, but how many times do I really want to walk up to something and press a button, or walk through a boring maze that looks like the previous 10 boring mazes I do? The only open world objectives in this game, and I sincerely mean this with all my heart, the only open world objectives in this game that are actually fun are the cats. And they're not fun in the sense that it's fun to get them, because all you have to do is walk up to them, hold LT, and don't move. There's an exclamation point above their head. It's very easy. But then when you go back to your house, the cats are there. And therein is the only reason that the cat objectives are fun, because every time I go back to my house, there's another cat. I have 3 cats, and I love them all dearly. There was something I noticed when I beat the main game. I was ready to be done with this game when I finished her. I was just gonna make another whatever video talking about how meh Forspoken is, but then it got into my head to talk about the open world. But to do that, I need to finish exploring the open world in the game, because the main story only takes you through about 50 to 60% of the open world. There's still a significant chunk that you would not have explored or even seen if you didn't explicitly go out of your way to look. So I got to work. I was like, okay, here's how much of the map I still need to finish. Let's just run around the whole map and just look at everything I haven't looked at to see if I'm missing something. You know, some kind of special, cool, awesome thing that would make me go, okay, I get it now. It's worth my time.
No. That did not happen.
What I got was essentially what to me felt like filler area. So here's the thought in my head. This is just a theory and opinion. This is not what really happened. This is just what's in my head, right? So they finished the game, right? They got their open world, they got their main story objectives, right? And then they go, you know, our open world is kind of small compared to a lot of other games. Why don't we add more area to it? So they got to work. They added more area. They added this one spot that's got like this cool castle on a cliff, right? And there's you know, a tunnel here that brings you to this spell, this useless spell, but the tunnel looks cool, I have to admit. There are some nice set pieces. But they failed to like add anything meaningful to these new open areas. So you go to these open areas that you don't have to go to, and boy, that's what they feel like. It just feels like a big open area with nothing in it. Nothing. That's all the extra stuff in the game outside of the main story. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's so boring. And the secret bosses, there's secret bosses that you can fight to unlock more equipment. And guess what? They're not fun either. In fact, they're pretty boring and nowhere near as cool as they should be as secret bosses. Pretty lame. It feels like they simply made this extra area around the main area just to say, hey, look how big our open world is. And now, no, this is not the first time this has happened in an open world game. We'll get to them, okay? Give me a minute. But with this game, with all the advertising behind it, all the technology, all the talent, this is what we got? Actually, you know what? It makes perfect sense coming from the guy who brought us Final Hallway 13, because despite not literally taking place in a hallway, Forspoken is about as interesting as running down hallway after hallway after hallway. Makes perfect sense. Forspoken is of course supposed to show a graphical, a technological leap. You know, this world is supposed to be beautiful and on higher settings. I've looked up videos on higher settings because frankly, I can't even afford to put this game on anything above standard. But it is a very pretty looking game. There's a lot of detail in the rocks and the trees and the leaves and stuff, but really, there's no sense of style. There's nothing memorable about the world of Athia. I can't think of anything in it, and everything that did seem memorable felt like it was something that was ripped out of another game. You know, not a fully unique idea. This game is just ideas from other games. So, take some of that, and we'll take some of that, and I'll take a little bit of that, and we'll take this trope, and we'll put it all together and make a $70 Blah. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the other aspects of the game, but I don't want people to think that I hate this game. I certainly don't. I think that there are some bright spots. I think that the voice and acting performances from a lot of the main cast were really good. The main character, Frey, like, she was voice acted and mocapped pretty well from what I could tell. Her dialogue was terrible, don't get me wrong, but the main actress didn't write that, so I don't want to take credit away from her. I think she did a very, very good job. Same thing with the guy who voiced Cuff. He's dry and goofy, and I think he was just fine. The music is very good in the game. The title theme especially, I actually really like. I've caught myself humming it to myself at work, even though I haven't played the game for a few days now. So, you know, there's catchy little things here and there, a little ooh shiny, but the big picture is just, Oh, and the cats. The cats are good. If you make another Forspoken, first of all, make it fun. Second of all, if you remove the cats, I'm coming for you. If you love this game, then that is good for you, man. I don't want to take that away from you. I'm not trying to take that away from you. I'm not telling you that you should never ever play this game or that we have to have the same opinion. If you love this game and this is your favorite open world game and you think Infamous Second Son sucks balls, cool, man. Right on. But me, nah. Oh, you ready for this? I saved this one-liner for the very end of the video. Ready? This is a good one. Forspoken is simply forgettable. Right? Put that on the box. Don't do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If indeed you have made it this far, I greatly, greatly appreciate it. This is the first time I've done this wide open world video. I know that the format is similar to my other ones. I'm gonna try to continue to differentiate this from my dead game videos, either in the way that they are filmed, my backdrop, maybe I won't do them all in front of the green screen. But to start, I just wanted to get this out, I wanted to get my thoughts and feelings out there right away, so I kind of stuck with the same format that I usually do. But different subject matter. Please, please, please give me any kind of constructive criticism or feedback about the video, about the subject matter. If there are specifics that I should cover in every game you guys, think that I'm missing out on by not explaining. Thing is, every game is so different that I don't structure my videos that way. I don't say, I have to hit like these bullet points necessarily. I just want to get my thoughts and feelings out there about the game. So if that didn't work as well for this video, please let me know. I want to know what you guys think. I always take everything you guys say into consideration, so please let me know what you really, truly thought. Don't forget to make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe so that you never miss a video, a short, or a stream from me. I stream right here on YouTube, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you join the Discord. There's a link to that in the description of every video. We talk about lots of stuff in there, and I also post when I'm going live, so if you don't get the YouTube notification, maybe you'll get it on Discord. And make sure you stay tuned for the next video where I time travel back in time and perform a lobotomy on my past self. Stay tuned.